Since David started coaching me last fall, I have made Team USA in cross country, placed top 30 in the world, and qualified to the Olympic trials in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. All while he continually supported me as a whole human and a healthy athlete in a way that could be described only as the Ted Lasso of running.
So good. You're crushing it.
Today we're taking on Magnolia Road, 15 miles of rolling hills all over 8,000 feet of elevation. We're also answering your most burning questions, so let's go.
Faster, Allie. To the arms.
Oh my gosh, this is a mountain.
This is gonna be so fun.
Okay, we are on Magnolia Road, which is a very famous run in Boulder where so many professional runners come 15 miles from pavement to pavement out and back. Rolling hills. It starts at 8,000 feet, so definitely a challenging route, but David's here. He and I are gonna do the run together, so hopefully that'll help me get through it. We are mic'd up. We'll be talking about some of the questions and topics people sent in on Instagram, so it should be a fun run. I'm definitely expecting it to be challenging because from what I've heard, you can't really do an easy run on this route.
The old saying that my wife Megan and I have is that the hardest runs we've ever done are easy runs on Magnolia Road. So this place is a proving ground for all different types of runners. The goal today is not to go super fast or anything like that, but knowing Allie, she's about to crush it, and I can't wait to be a part of it. You put these on, and you're like, oh, I feel kind of heavy right now. You take them off, and you feel like you are ready to freaking go. So you just bounce around in ankle weights.
You look like a double felon.
Wait, I mean, I kind of want to try it.
Allie, you're giving away our secrets to the competition.
The trend starts now. Actually, you started it long ago. I'm the first on the bandwagon. You know, have you ever done that thing where you like push your hands against a door frame?
Exactly.
And then after you step forward and you're flying.
Yes.
This is the same, but for my legs. I'm flying.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I guess we're going.
Let's do it.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna half step you the whole time. I do the negative half step, you're driving.
You know, that's good, but sometimes when people do that, I'm like, do they want me to slow down? But with you, I'll know that you don't, because
no.
This is your road.
This is my road.
You would never want me to slow down.
I own this.
Yeah.
I have pooped so many times on this road. Every single one of these trees is my children.
I actually have now officially pooped on Magnolia
Yes!
Road. This downhill is a little concerning right now, because this, as the last mile, is going to be a character building experience.
Yeah, especially because right now you're just working into it.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to enjoy the downhill.
People wanted to know, is it possible to eat too much as a runner?
The big dichotomy that people need to realize is fueling your athletic self and fueling generally are two slightly different questions. And so as coaches, we're talking about fueling your athletic self in the sense that every single run you ever do should be fueled, and it should be fully fueled. It's the ultimate performance enhancing context, recovery enhancing context, and most importantly, health enhancing. It increases your resting metabolic rate, improves your endocrine system, improves your ability to run fast. So during an athletic life, like on this run, we literally cannot overeat unless we are like gel monsters and just living in a vat of gel.
Yeah, I think that people are so worried about eating too much and not worried about eating too little.
Exactly.
Which is crazy because obviously it's not crazy because that was me. This is at myself, but like it's actually so much more dangerous to undereat.
So our old saying is eat enough always, eat too much sometimes, eat too little never. The quote too much essentially does not exist for an athlete that's training.
And that's like where I'm at right now, is I'm finally realizing, oh my gosh, like under-eating wasn't making me a better athlete, it was holding me back.
So much.
It's definitely a little bit wild, the difference I feel when I'm racing in like my power.
Yeah.
And ability to feel good when I'm tired instead of just hitting a wall.
How about in training? You've been doing higher volume training in general. You do a lot of hard cross training. How's the fueling changing how you feel there?
Overall, I get less tired by it. Sometimes when you are under fueling, you get so many endorphins.
Yeah.
from it that it kind of masks it. It gives you artificial feel good, but then I would crash and burn, would get injured, I would underperform in races, or I would lack progression. I wasn't really adapting well.
The more fuel you put in the fire, the hotter it burns, the better you train, the faster you run,
Yeah.
especially young athletes.
Never felt very strong on the trails last year. Kind of frustrating because I didn't feel like I was in bad shape.
Yeah, you're gonna be such a monster on trails. I can't emphasize enough. Gonna be in 9 teens fitness on the steeple. You're gonna come over to trails with that fitness and just be like, oh my God, this is so much fun.
And I'm probably like the 10th to 12th fastest steepler in the US right now.
Well, you said 10th to 12th. I just wanna make sure you give room up there for 1st to 3rd.
I'm always leaving room to slap that believe sign
Yeah.
and move up the ranks. Like, I'm excited that like the structure of the US trials
Yeah.
leaves it open to someone who is ranked 10th to move up and get whatever place on that day.
All you need is a chance.
Exactly. What is the racing and training plan moving forward, kind of going into more of a steeple specific block?
So the most fun thing about where you're at right now is that we haven't done any true peaking workouts. So all year, I asked you to believe in this crazy dream that the Olympics were possible. And the way we were gonna do it is by building you from the ground up aerobically, and then from the top down with your speed. The 200s at 31s, whereas you might have been 33s in the past. That is
Yeah.
the top down, that's amazing. And on the bottom up, you've done these big aerobic weeks, all this cross training that no one ever sees. Now what we get to do is bring that shit together. So what it's gonna look like in practice is one big threshold workout each week. You thrive on those, often on the uphill treadmill, sometimes cross training. And then one massive spicy speed session where we're not going to the well, but we're getting in the well's vicinity on each one.
Right, we're approaching the well.
Yes, lots of faster work, bordering more on 1500 training than the 10K style training we've really stuck with. We're gonna engineer that perfect peak.
So this is the bring that shit together block.
The bring the shit together block, you know it. You don't wanna be racing every type of rep you do.
Yeah.
That's gonna actually erode your aerobic system a little bit. Taking it easy on yourself is how the body develops long term.
Racing every workout is basically what I did in high school.
Yeah,
3 or more days a week, all out interval workouts.
yeah,
And when I went to college, our training was much lower intensity, higher volume.
yeah,
And I saw a huge leap in performance almost immediately.
yeah.
I gotta admit something.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sometimes when I'm doing a long cross training session,
Uh-huh.
I watch my own race videos to motivate myself.
Yeah, sometimes I'm lifting. I just like flex in the mirror and I'm like, oh no, I need to lift more. On that note, when you're cross training, do you ever like have doubts and want to get off? Because I feel like a lot of people that are watching or whatever experience that. I mean, I know I do.
Yes, almost always. The first 30 minutes I think is always the worst. And then once you get through that, I think it's easy to talk yourself through the rest.
Yeah,
Be like, okay, I did a 30-minute chunk. I can do another,
yeah,
or I can do 2 more of those. It's gonna feel hard and uncomfortable the whole time, but I think your body kind of grows numb to it the longer you're on.
we're about to hit the bigger climb
Okay,
of all of Magnolia.
okay, saddle up.
Saddle up.
Gotta lean forward, channel Helen O'Beary.
That's what you gotta do. I wanna look like I'm searching for my keys on the ground. Where are they? That's how I climb.
I've been so entertained by this. Do I even edit anything out?
We release it as a podcast is what we do. Actually, that's a question for your listeners. Is there gonna be an Allie podcast and Athlete Special podcast?
Yeah, well, so we're debating, like, do we do one together? Because we think that would be more fun.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the top of the first part of this climb.
Okay.
Then it levels out.
Okay. The climbs definitely get you.
It's a special beast, especially when you're not acclimated. Okay, so this is the top of the little climb.
Okay.
But then as a coach or mentor or teacher, make sure you're clear and honest with people so that they can see the version of themselves that, you know, their friends see, that maybe only a coach sees it first.
Yeah.
And I think it's often the reverse, that what people assume is fake in like kindness or positivity, it's often that people feel the need to present in the world in a way that's inauthentic to them, where they can't express the version of themselves that gets up each morning and gets excited to do the thing they're gonna do. I just really ascribe to, when you love people, when you care about them, make sure they know it.
Yeah.
Maybe the role of a coach is just, you recognize the things that are already there. And one of the things I've said to you before is, like, you have everything you need within you already. And hopefully we can just let it shine.
Well, I always said the difference between a good coach and a great coach isn't the workouts or the training. It's how they understand an athlete and how to help them be their best. And it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Used to be wrapped up in an eating disorder.
Definitely, yeah.
So right now, it is in recovery because that has to be a huge focus for me to make it through. Someday, that will shrink.
Yeah.
But it's just, we're still kind of in the midst of it.
And it doesn't need to shrink. I guess, like, the things that make us us are the beautiful things, like the messed up stuff.
Now that I'm at altitude, it's even more important for me to focus on hydration, which is why I have been relying on Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte beverage with a scientifically based formulation of electrolytes with 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I've been using this for over a year. It tastes great and keeps me hydrated. They also just came out with electrolyte seltzers, which are literally so good. So whether you're drinking this during a workout or throughout the day, it's a great option to stay optimally hydrated. And right now, Element is offering a free sample pack with any drink mix order to my subscribers. Just go to drinkelement.com/Allie or go to the link in my description. And as always, stay salty, my friends.
Okay, so this is the last little climb of this. Almost done to the turnaround. Every hill's the last hill, if you dream enough.
Gaslighter alert! But in a good way, not an insult.
It was accidental. I saw a video with Mike Smith where he mentioned that Nico Young, on a really hard track workout, was going to go see his ancestors. And the number of times I have seen various ancestors right where we are right now, it's probably 100.
Who needs a Ouija board when you have Magnolia Road?
Gotta touch the pavement.
Woo!
Airplane arms to the pavement.
Turn around. Let's go.
Gonna moonwalk? Moonwalk?
It's like a Nick Miller move. Precision Fuel, sponsor me.
The slurp is key.
Georgie's hemoglobin is about to go off the charts because he's having a pup cup a day, 2 walks a day, and altitude.
Oh my God. Georgie's a freak of nature. Sometimes it's training, sometimes it's talent. Georgie has both. Okay, so Allie, what do you do for work? I wanted to know that.
Funny,
because
you should ask.
I've been so impressed by that. Just understanding how much work goes into what you do. So I'd love to hear more about it.
I get this question a ton. People wonder if all I do is run, which of course, that training does take 2 to 3 hours of most days. But then I also edit YouTube videos. I post a video every 5 days. Those usually take anywhere from 5 to 8 hours.
Our baby Leo, 18 months, he'll watch 2 things right now. He will watch videos of trucks and videos of Allie. So you're doing us a very, very big service.
I love that. I also spend a lot of time making reels and YouTube shorts. Probably another 5 to 10 hours a week on that. I have the kind of personality where I kind of need something else to focus on.
Definitely, yeah.
Other than just running. So people sometimes will comment and be like, you'll never get to the top because you're doing this for the content, for the views, for the likes. And it's just not true. Like, I really think sharing my journey helps me to enjoy it.
Yeah. Does that ever scare you? Are you ever worried about the comments you're gonna get?
I think no, because a quote you said really stuck out to me. She said, people will love and hate you for the same reasons.
Yeah.
People will hate me because I'm sharing too much, because I'm too open, because I put myself out there
Yeah.
and risk sharing goals that I never reach.
Yeah.
But people also love me for the same reason, because those are the realities of sport, is that so many of your goals you never even get close to.
Yeah.
And that doesn't take away from how much you did to get there and all the progress you made in chasing that goal.
But in one of your last videos, you said, I'm an Olympic hopeful. Yeah, that hope might be 1%, though I promise it's higher. But the point just being, like, that's the dream. The dream is the 1% things.
Yeah.
Show me somebody that has a 50% dream, and I'll show you someone that needs to dream at least 10 times bigger.
And I think the thing people don't understand is that, like, I am not going to be crushed if I don't become an Olympian.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that doesn't mean I'm not hungry for that goal, that I'm not going to do everything I can to reach that goal. But it just means that I'm very invested in the process of it.
Yeah.
And I will be proud of myself for dedicating myself every day to that goal, regardless of whether I hit it or not. Like, that's all you can control as an athlete.
If we knew just how much uncertainty we had on, like, a daily basis, you know, I was just launched 100 feet into a fence in a car accident
Right.
on the bike. And it's like, if you let yourself contemplate the inevitable crap we're all gonna face as just something that defines your existence, it's really hard to get out of bed in the morning.
Ever since you started coaching me, I've had a hiccup every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And at first, I was so frustrated because I was like, I will never reach my goals like this. My training is too inconsistent. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, this is my training.
Yeah.
This is how it works. It's not inconsistent. It's my consistency.
And that's how bodies process stimuli. Like, from a pure physiological perspective, the blur between adaptation and injury, it's the same continuum. In pushing ourselves, we're also setting ourselves up for these moments of being at the edge, and that certain people are more at the edge than others. But that's not a downfall of personal choice or behavior. That's just the product of giving yourself those big dreams. So the coolest thing about coaching, I think, is not like the times. It's more getting to see these journeys unfold, in the sense that you get to be a part of all these inspiring journeys and get the absolute joy of seeing them go through it. So
Yeah.
to see you go through yours, the parts that stick out to me, it's not even the races. It's talking to you before the races, where I've heard your tone shift over time to the point that you now seem like damn excited to be out there and to be giving yourself that shot.
Yeah, I am so excited. I want to race more. I want to get greedy and just get back out there and go, because, like, I'm so excited to see what I can do. And I'm not scared of not doing what I think I'm capable of, because I don't see a singular failure or a singular fall short as the end of it. It's just part of it. Something people would be really interested in hearing is kind of about amenorrhea,
Yeah.
why it's bad, the risks, and, like, kind of the benefits of having a healthy menstrual cycle.
Definitely.
Because the direct feelings you have
Yeah.
and experience you have around a menstrual cycle is not always the positive reinforcement you need.
No, definitely. A menstrual cycle is an absolutely essential part of an athletic process. I think the most obvious and clear example is the health barometer aspect, that the reason the body has a menstrual cycle is because of a healthy endocrine system context. So
Yeah.
the sex hormones in particular. But the most significant thing is that those sex hormones then are touching on every single thing that goes into being human. So here we're not just talking about being an athlete,
Yeah.
but in terms of someone's mental health, how their intelligence works, their IQ, their ability to process information, but then most importantly, their physical nature. So the two big ones are, one, the body's ability to adapt. So to get stronger, to get faster, and 2, the body's ability to actually create bone and not break down. So if I could do one thing in the running community, it would be to try to talk to every young girl that might be going through puberty soon and let them know that anything we can do to make it so you can zoom out, so you can become that strong-ass woman you're destined to be, anything we can do to support that is worthwhile. When you do get a window into athletes that are on the international stage and competing to make the Olympics, they are all having menstrual cycles. The menstrual cycle is health, and health is performance.
People need to understand that, actually I forgot my train of thought. All the blood went to my muscles. No thoughts are happening.
The type of issues of endocrine system, health, and performance also apply to male athletes and non-binary athletes. Applies to every human. So many young men, and boys in high school and things like that, are going around and wrecking their hormonal context in a way that's going to be really negative for their health and performance, but without realizing it. So in some ways, we like to, Megan, who's like one of the top researchers in this field, and I like to frame the menstrual cycle as a gift. You're getting a gift to understand I'm doing something that's really healthy for myself, not just as an athlete, but as a person.
I think it's important too to think that it's like overall health. It's not just symptoms of your running. At times where I was restricting the most or over-exercising the most, I was absolutely miserable. Depressed, insomnia, antisocial.
Iron's low.
Anemic. Yeah, like you're not a happy human, even if maybe in some cases you get a very short momentary increase in performance.
Yeah, and it's just an illusion. The momentary increases, that's the hard part though, is that the illusion can be intoxicating, much in the way that the first time that a person takes an opioid.
There is a huge element of it that's very similar to addiction, because you start to think of it as a part of your life, your identity, and you get competitive with yourself and think, if I'm not doing X or doing just a little more extreme to what I did yesterday, then I'm not trying hard enough.
There can also be another part of it too, where you're so far down a path that you might as well just stay on the path. It's never too late to stop digging a hole. That as soon as you stop, everything will change, and it might not change overnight. It might even take a full year.
I think what you said is so right. It becomes habitual. It feels like the only option you have, but there's always an option to change your course, you know?
Yeah, you got less than a mile to go, all uphill.
It's gonna be a long mile, do the hill.
Hills are spiritual teachers. There was some unfilmed stuff where we talked about God, and hills are a running manifestation of God because they're there to remind us of things bigger than ourselves. Namely gravity. You're gonna start talking in tongues by the top. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing hopefully all the track sessions. You know, as we talked about, things are about to get really hard on the track days. And so I want to be there for the good days and the bad days, giving her a little draft. You see the top right there, see that sign? So think about high knees. Let's end this one in style. All right, go to the arms a bit. Let's close a little faster. Even faster. Let's push for the line. There's the end of the pavement. Come on. Great job. Faster, Allie. To the arms. Hell yeah. Great job.
A really good run. We talked the whole time, went by super fast, and it was definitely challenging. Nothing crazy, but I just loved the conversation, so it flew by.
It's so fun to talk to you. It's so great to see Spencer out there. I mean, Magnolia Road is always a journey. There's no way to do it where it's not a journey. And so to see you go out there with an open mind, under big, heavy, chronic training load right now, and then most of all, to do that fast little unexpected finish, Sometimes coaches have to be assholes. I usually don't surprise athletes, but it just seemed like you were ready to go to the legs.
I could go to the legs. I just was not expecting at the end. David was like pushing me to like kick, finish, sprint. And I've just never done that in the long run. That's the long run, the first long run of altitude camp. And yeah, that's all for now, folks.